Hello friends, welcome back to the tutorial of Python, and today we'll be learning more about list. So in the previous slides we have shown you that how lists work. So I would like to point out that lists are immutable. So you might be thinking, what are lists and what do you mean by immutable and mutable? So I would like to tell you that list in Python is there are four types of things that are similar to list, which are list, dictionary, sets, and tuples. So in Python, lists are mutable, and further we'll see what are the things that we can do with the list. Now coming up with the practical part of the list, like over here, I would like to show you that list has many functions. Some of them we have discussed earlier, but now we are going to discuss a few among more of them. Like let's create a list. List1 is equal to, and then we give it the value, some values over here, like apple. So this is a string, so in braces. So then the second one being orange, and yeah, so that's all. Okay, now we have two of them in our list. Now what if we want to append? Now what you might be thinking, what is append? So what append does is, it is similar to what we have seen earlier, but it is an extension of that. So what append does is, it adds more value, adds more elements to the list, right? Now we have done append earlier. Now let's do extend. So extend, extend. So let's see what extend does. So now we create another list, list2, and we have items in that. This is, we give numbers, okay, 1 2 3 4 and 5 6. Okay, now this is our list2. Now what we do is, we want to append the list. So we want to append list2 to list1. So list1 dot append append, and in the brackets we have list that we need to append to it, list2. Now list2. So now when we append it, so and we say enter. Now when we print the list1, see what we get. We get all the values of the previous list inside the another list. So as you can see over here very clearly, that we have appended the list itself over here. Now here you can see that we have, when we append our list, so it becomes into a 2D list. Now as I was talking about extend, so it's similar to extend. Now what we'll do, we'll make we'll use the same list, list1 dot ex, we'll use extend. So what extend will do, it will add all the values. Now as you see in the above, when we use append, it added the list2 to list1 as it is, but now when we use it as list2, each and every element would be added to the list1 individually, and that would be formed. And let's see how that happens. So list2, now when we use this and we print it, print list1, so we get, now you can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 are added to the part of list1 itself, and this is the difference between append and extend. Now let's come to another method called copy. So you might be thinking how we should copy a list. Now how we should copy all the elements from one list to another list. Most probably most of us would be thinking that, like if we want to list3 and we want to copy all the elements of list1 into it, we'll be doing using this this assignment operator. And when we do this, what we get is like this. Okay, now I want to tell you that this works over here. You might be very happy that I have done everything. Now that I have copied the list, but there's a difference over here. You have not copied the list. I'll show you. Please keep in mind, and this needs a bit of more thinking process, so be careful what now and concentrate on what I'm going to show you right now. So like if we say we change the remove, we pop, if you remember, so list3.pop and we enter it. So what it does, it gives us 6, right? And now we list 3, when we try to print, we don't have the 6 because it has been removed, right? Now when we use list list 1, you see we have not copied it, all the values in 6 also, as 6 was popped out, so it created a reference over there. You get my point? It didn't create a copy, it created a reference. So according to you, it's not same as we think, so it's like a bit different. So anything we have copied is different, and anything we are creating a reference is different. So when we are doing list 1, 3 is equal to list 1, we are making it a reference. Okay, we are making it a reference, we are not actually copying it. To copy the list, we have altogether a different thing. To copy the list, we use list 1.copy, and this is used to copy the list, and now I want to store it in list 3. Now when you print list 3, you get 5, and because now it has already been changed. Okay, now list 3, now make a pop in list 3. Okay, list 3.pop. okay, now we took out 5 from here. Now when we take out 5 from here and now we print list 1, you see 5 is still there, and now I'll show you the difference in list 3. See, this is the difference. It's important to know the difference between both of them. There is a difference, and you can see that when you create a reference, what happens, and when you create a copy, what happens. You can see in list 1 all the elements of list 1 remain same, and when we pop, only the pop in list 3 is being executed, not in list 1. Next I'm going to show you the reverse function in list. So what if you want to print the reverse of a list? Now you might be thinking what you can do it using a loop also, but that would take a long time. Now so we have another function over here, so that is called the reverse. So let's check list 3. okay, now we have created list 3 and we use the reverse in that. So we do dot reverse, and when we do it, we need to print it. Print list 3.revias. Okay, so we get a none. So you might be thinking why it did not work, because it has a list inside a list. Now to work it out, what we'll do, we'll delete the list. So delete the element of the list. Now you can either use the remove, or there's one more way how I'll teach you right now. You use dl, and we have list 3. okay, now list 3, and then we refer to index 0, 1, 2, and we get list 3. You see, now we don't have them, and now arranging them would be like, if you want to arrange them in an order, so what to do. So I'll teach you that. That's the nice. We can also use del, delete, that symbolizes delete, to delete the entire list 3. So when you say delete list 3, and now you want to print list 3, so you have nothing, it won't give you anything. See, list 3 is not defined because you have deleted it. Now you can't have list 3. So this, you can see that how del helps us to remove things, particularly how we have used it to remove index and the list itself. So one more thing you should always remember, like over here I have used list 1 dot remove. So, and when we take 2 arguments, that remove, like if we have remove method of the list, it can only take one input. Over here, as you can see, I tried to remove both of them, so I was unsuccessful in doing them and I got an error. Now let's try, what if I declare them inside a list. So apple, and I say the second one is orange, and when we do it, does it affect? You see, no, because this which I have now declared, apple comma oranges, is altogether different thing, and it is different from what we have in the normal regular one. So this over here is not the same as this. Did you get my point? It's different. It's similar. If I had this over here, then it would be the same thing, but it is different. So when I need to remove it, remove the elements, so list one dot remove, I would state apple. Okay, list one dot remove, I would say orange, and now when I put list one, when I print, you see, you get the numbers. Now what if I want to remove this second part, that's 0 1 2, this is the 0 1 2 3 4 and the fifth, so I want to remove. So now writing the index, the entire would be a bit long, so I can use the index as I have shown you right now, list, and then we state that 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now we'll be using 5 because 0 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and now when we print the list 1, we get it. So this is how you'll get it slowly and gradually as you do a lot of practice, and by practice only you get these things. Now let's learn how to reverse them. So list 1 dot reverse, and we'll store it in list 2 is equal to this. Now the above list 2 has been overwritten. Now list 2, when you print list 2, so what it gives us is a none. So you might be thinking why I'm not getting the result, I'm getting none again and again. So there are two, if to give it to you a better clarity, what I'm going to tell you that why we are getting this. So the reason why we are getting a none and a none again and again is that reverse implies that all the function that we have done, the reverse will do it to the list itself, and we don't need to store it into another thing. So it won't return, but it will do the function inside this list itself, basically. So now what if you want to clear this list? So we'll use list 1 dot clear, and list 1 when we try to print, so it's an empty list now altogether. So now let's add elements to it. Okay, now let's create elements like 1 6 7 and then 5 5. Okay, now you might be thinking that we have created a list also. Now what about sorting it? Now we can sort it also. So list 1 dot sort, and now when we sort it, needs to be an argument. So I have made a mistake over there, list 1 dot sort, and now we get now as I told you over there, similar to reverse, list 1 would now be sorted. If you check here, so list 1 is now sorted, so it doesn't return anything, it is performed on list 1 itself. So that's an important point that you should remember while using list and sort. So now some of you would be thinking that I need to copy it every time I use the sort function. No, there's something different for that. We have sorted, and then we have list 1, and now list 1 is already sorted, and so let's make another list to sort it. So list 2 is equal to, now let's make an alphabetic list. So hello GDA and NFS. Okay, NFS. So now sorted dot list 2, and that is stored in list 3. Okay, now when we do this, this should be in brackets. Now when we put list 3, see, we have it in an ordered way, or you can say it's now ordered G H I J K L M N. So this is the way how you can do this. So here I would like to wrap up, and this is all we can do, and these are the various operations that we can perform on the list. Thank you for the time being, and keep on watching new videos. Thanks.